a Chomsky normal form and Greibach normal form. So in order to construct a Chomsky normal form or Greibach normal form, you have to reduce the Greven grammar. So before we are constructing Chomsky normal form, we have to eliminate all your unit productions, null productions and everything, right? So use the symbols and everything you have to eliminate. So see what your CNF will say is, so after we are taken a grammar and you are constructing on a CNF, so a grammar is said to be in CNF, right? What simply we have on your right hand side, the productions, it's having the length of variables is 2. And the first restriction is the terminal and variable combination, right? You can consider any of the grammar, and after you are constructing into a Chomsky normal form or you are converting into a Chomsky normal form, so now the grammar is said to be in Chomsky normal form if doesn't consisting any combination of variable and terminal, and the length of the variables on its right hand side is 2. So then only we can say the grammar is in Chomsky normal form. This is very easy, right? And very important question, right? This is very important question. So now the grammar is in Chomsky normal form. It can satisfy 2 conditions. What is the first condition? On right hand side, it doesn't having any combination of variable and terminal. And the second constraint is the length of the variable on its right hand side is 2. So we don't have more than 2 on its right hand side. So these 2 are the constraints on the Chomsky normal form. So see, as there is no null productions or unit productions, we can directly go to step 2. So if you have any null or unit production, you have to eliminate before you are going to construct a Chomsky normal form. So now G1 will consisting of, your grammar is consisting of a variables S, A, B and D, and the terminals A, B and D. See here, A, B and D will be the terminals and the productions are given for you, and start symbol is like this. So now we are checking that which productions is already in required form. So Chomsky normal form lo undali ani ante manaki variable terminal combination undakudadu. Ante ఏ ప్రొడక్షన్స్ అయితే సింపుల్గా టర్మినల్ డిరైవ్ చేస్తున్నాయో వాటిని మనం ఏం చేయాల్సిన పని లేదు, డైరెక్ట్గా వీ కెన్ ఇంక్లూడ్. సో బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ రీజన్ B tends to small b, D tends to small d are directly included in your P1. And S tends to small ad, right? So this is not in required form. So you have to change it as required form. How you are going to change it as required form? Because I don't have a combination with variable and terminal. So because of that reason, I can make the small a as a variable. So how I can do? I can add one variable. I can add one variable, and that variable is going to derive my terminal a. Right? So now I'm adding one new variable CA, and that CA is going to derive a small a. Okay? So like this. So this is also not in required form because I have variable and terminal combination also here. So simply I can add one variable CA, and this CA tends to small a. So we cannot include CA tends to small a again because we already have that production. And this is also not in required form because I have variable and terminal combination. So I can add one more variable here CB, and now that CB tends to small b. So the variables what newly generated, I am generating 2 new variables CA and CB, right? So you can include those variables in B and dash. And the productions you can include these 2, CA tends to A and CB tends to B also included in your grammar. See this? So this is your step 2. Okay, in step 2, we are eliminating the combination of variables and terminals. So how we are going to eliminate the combination of variable and terminal? Simply we can add one constant, right? One constant variable, and that variable is again deriving the terminal which you are replacing. ఏ టర్మినల్ అయితే నేను రీప్లేస్ చేస్తున్నానో ఆ టర్మినల్ని డిరైవ్ చేయడానికి ఒక కొత్త వేరియబుల్ని నేను యాడ్ చేస్తాను. So I can include that production into my production. So now this is your productions. And now the second restriction. What the second restriction? The length. So if you have a variables on right hand side and the length it must be 2. So you can include all the productions which is in a required form. So this is a required form because we have a production A tends to CA CB. So this is in required form. Right, this is in required form, you can include directly here. And then this is also required form, you can include. This is also required form, you can include. And these two also required form, you can include. And which one is not included in context free grammar? This one. Why? Because it consisting of 3 variables. Because it consisting of 3 variables. So what other restriction of your context free grammar? On right hand side we have only 2 variables. So for that we can take this production which is not in required form and we can replace like this. See, I can replace this A and D, the last 2 variables, with one constant, that is C1. So now I am written like S tends to CA C1 and C1 is going to derive A and D. So now see, so this is one production and this is one production. On right hand side I have only 2 variables. Right, I hope you all can understand. And now I have another production like CBAB. Right, CBAB. So this is also like AB is going to derive with another variable, that is C2. Right, because I cannot take same variable. Here I have AD and here I have AB. So because of that reason I am including C2 here. If both are same, you cannot create one more variable. You can use C1 directly because C1 is going to derive that thing, right? So here C2. So now I can write A tends to CB C2 and C2 tends to AB. So these are the new productions. Now you can write all the productions, then only the things are completed. So how you are going to write? So you can include all the variables and you can include the terminals, and this is your start symbol. And here you have to write all your productions. What is the productions? You can write A tends to, right, you can write A tends to CA capital B and S tends to CA C1, C1 tends to AD. And here it is A tends to CB C2 and C2 tends to AB. Right, C2 tends to AB. And you can include all these productions which is already in required form, that is CAB or CBA. Oh, sorry. This is not okay, so we can include B tends to small b, B tends to small b, and D tends to small d, CA tends to small a, and CB tends to small b. So you can include all the productions, right, at last. Then only this G2 will be an equivalent CNF. This is a required CNF. సో గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, సిఎన్ఎఫ్లో మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనకి వేరియబుల్ టర్మినల్ కాంబినేషన్ ఉండకూడదు. అలా ఉంటే ముందు వాటిని ఎలిమినేట్ చేయాలి. సో స్టెప్ 1 ఏం చెప్తుంది? If you have any useless symbols, null productions or unit productions, you have to eliminate first. And after that, step 2 will say you are constructing the productions in such a way that no variable will consisting variable and terminal combination on its right hand side. So you have to eliminate the combination in step 2. In step 3, we are restricting on the size, right? So what is the restriction on size? We have only 2 variables on its right hand side. So you have to remember. This is another example is available in your notebook. You just go through.